Okay, so let's graph the second one. Now the first thing that we find are the asymptotes. So here we go. Let me write the word asymptotes right here. Well, that's a big marker right here. Asymptotes. I'm gonna make that a little thinner. I'm gonna run out of space. Okay, let's see. Let's find the horizontal ones first. Okay, so we got our HA, and to find our horizontal asymptotes, we look at the degrees. What's the degree of the top? Any degree of the bottom? 2. We look at the highest exponents for the top and the bottom. That's a 1, and this one's a 2. If there was no x up here, it would be 0. Okay, but because that's a 1 and a 2, it's kind of like what we want. We want the smaller number on top, right? Whenever we look at fractions, we want to see a smaller number on top. When you first learn about fractions, you like having the smaller number on top. And if that's what you want, think like, oh, that means it's going to be the nice, pretty horizontal asymptote, which is y equals 0. If the degree on top is smaller than the degree on the bottom, you know that it's automatically y equals 0. You don't have to do anything else to find your horizontal asymptote. So let's go ahead and graph that really quick. It's just a line on the x-axis, because that's where y equals 0. Right there. And now let's find our vertical asymptotes. Now to find our vertical asymptotes, we have to, I say topes, because this time we're going to have 2. We take our denominator, set that guy equal to 0, because the denominator cannot equal 0. So we want to find those x values where it cannot equal. It cannot be. And when I factor this, I get x minus 2 and x plus 1 equals 0. I get 2 values here. I get x equals 2 and x equals negative 1. So there's 2 vertical asymptotes right here. I have this line and I have this line. X equals 2 and x equals negative 1. And so to graph those, I just have to find those values on the x-axis, which is at, go away. Let's see. Sorry, I'm talking about my iPad. Right there at 2 and right there at negative 1. Alright, now let's find our intercepts. Got to start finding some points here so we know what our graph is going to look like. Now to find those intercepts, we're going to plug in zeros. So to find our x-intercept, we're going to plug in 0 for the y. Okay, so let's find our x-intercept there. So I plug 0 in for the y, it's right there. Then I have x over x squared minus x minus 2. Here, check this one out. This one's kind of cool. Nice. It's nice, simple, neat, and pretty. My denominator is this nasty trinomial. I multiply both sides by that trinomial so that this cancels out with that. And what's that times 0? Oh, just 0. So I'm left with 0 equals x. So my x-intercept is at 0, 0. Interesting, huh? Isn't that interesting? Come on. Why is that interesting? What's this blue line right here? That's an asymptote. So can we have a point there? Huh. That's interesting. Can we or can we not?
Can you have a point?
Well, and I'm showing you guys this discrepancy because for some reason the horizontal asymptote doesn't follow the rules like the vertical asymptotes. Sometimes the line crosses through the horizontal asymptote. And I don't, I gotta look that up. I gotta figure out, I don't remember why. So I gotta look that up. But anyways, we have a point there nonetheless. Let's get our y-intercept. Wait, can we get y-intercept? Yeah. Let's get our y-intercept and then find additional points to see what our line looks like. So for our y-intercept, our x is gonna equal 0. And so I plug in 0 for my x, and so I put a 0 right there. And I say equals, and I plug 0 in right there. 0 squared minus 0 minus 2. Right, I just get 0, huh? 0 over negative 2 equals 0. Huh. So what does that mean? Oh, this is the only point where it crosses any kind of axis. Okay, so our intercepts didn't really help us out here. And hopefully when you guys are, you're doing your work, when I do my work, I look ahead to try to see if I can cut corners. You might cut this corner right here because you look at this and go, huh, the only intercept I can find is the y-intercept. There's not going to be an x-intercept really because there's an asymptote right there. But I don't know. Okay, anyways, let's see what this line looks like. So let's find additional points. Add points. Okay, let's see here. We'll have x and y. Maybe I should put f of x right there. Let's get a little more technical. Okay, so where do you guys want to start? You want to start on this side? Yeah, let's start on this side. So what we're going to look for here is the line going like this, or is the line going like this? So let's pick a point. Give me a point.
-1,
See, -1 is right where my asymptote is, so I can't pick that one. -2 and -3. Okay. -2, -3. So I put a -2 right here, and I put -3. When I plug in -2, what do I get? There's lots of math here. -2, -2 squared minus -2 minus 2. That becomes a positive 2 minus a 2, so those cancel out. -2 squared is going to be 4, so I have -2 over 4, which equals -1/2. So I have -1/2 right here, and then I plug in the -3 to see what I get for that one. -3 squared minus -3 minus 2, no, plus 2. Minus 2? Yeah, minus 2. So that's going to be a positive 3 right here, minus a 2, and that's going to be a 9. 9 plus 3 is going to be 12, and I subtract a 2, it's going to be 10. So this is -3 over 10. Alright, let's see what these points are. -2, -1/2. -2 goes down to -1/2. So I can't see it. These numbers are in the way. Right there. Okay, and then -3 goes down to -3/10. That's even closer to the line. Okay, so this line is really close to our asymptote. Like, it's pretty much tracing the asymptotes right there. Okay, now to find what my line's going to do right here, I mean, my line could go like this. It can go like this, or like this. I don't know what my line looks like. So I got to pick some points to figure it out. I can't pick 0 because I already got that point. Give me another point to pick. Yeah, 1's a good idea. And do you guys want to try 1/2? Okay, 1 and 1/2. We got to do it. We got to see what it looks like. Okay, 1. No, I don't want to. Okay, let's plug in the 1. All right, look at this mess over here. Let's clean that up. A bigger eraser. I have like missing spots right here. Okay, so I plug in a 1. 1 squared minus 1 minus 2. What do I get? So that's going to be a 1 right here. 1 minus 1, those cancel out. Minus 2, so it's -1/2. Oh, -1/2 again. Okay, now plug in the 1/2. Oh, this is kind of nasty. So I got the 1/2. I got to square the 1/2 right here. And then I subtract the 1/2. And then I subtract the 2. Yuck. Okay, so I have 1/2. What do I get on the bottom? Let's see. This is 1/4 right here. And I'm going to subtract 1/2 from it, which is really 2 over 4. I'm trying to find common denominators. And then make this one have a denominator of 4. That would be 8 over 2, right? So now, not that ugly. Let's see. Slash and dash here. Oh, 4. Thank you. I mean, I did that in my head. The 8's right. Right? Yeah, the 8's right. Okay, so that's negative, so it's -10 over 4. Another 4 there. So 1 minus 10 over 4. That's going to equal -9 over 4. So I have 1/2 divided by -9 over 4. Yeah. So see, if I had 1/2 divided by -9 over 4, that would be the same as 1/2 times -4 over 9. These would cancel out with each other. So I get -2/9. That was ugly. And I don't even know if it was totally worth it. Let's see. If we plug in the 1, we got -1/2, so it's right there. If we plug in the 1/2, we got something right there. Dang it. I don't know what this looks like. Okay. I need to know what the point's doing on this side. What does the point do on this side? I don't want to plug in -1/2. Let's see. I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna put a negative on that guy, a negative on that guy, which make that guy positive. Hold on. 3. It's still negative, right? Oh, here, let me press pause on this video and find it. Okay, someone already graphed it, so I gotta put the -1/2 in. So I put the -1/2 in. I have -1/2. On the bottom, I have 1/4. That's gonna be a negative or positive 2 over 4. So that's positive 3 over 4 minus the 10. Positive 3 over 4. So positive 3 over 4 minus 10 over 4. Negative 1/2 is on the top. I get negative 7 over 4. Now, why is that important right there? Because look, a negative divided by negative. What's that going to be? A positive. It's going to be a positive, right? Let's see what I get. It's going to be a positive, so I go 1/2 times 4 over 7. I took this and flipped it because it was dividing. This would be 4 over 14. Okay, so I know it's going to be above the line, so it's going to be right about there. See that point right there? So this graph looks like this. It follows this asymptote, goes like that. Yeah, it's kind of disgusting, I know. It's the way it goes, though. Now, to find this final line right here, you're going to have to plug in more points. Now, is it on top or bottom? Can you tell me? It's on top? Cool. So she already graphed it, so I'm just going to write it out like this. But the point is this, guys. You need to know and understand how to pick points and plug them in to see where your line is. Like, what's the trend?